Yo, check it, time. People don't understand the value of time until it's gone. They chase money, clout, validation, all these things, but they forget the most important asset they got is the hours, the minutes, the days. Your time is your biggest investment. Once it's spent, you can't get it back. And the way you spend it today determines the life you live tomorrow. This ain't about hype. It's about legacy. It's about purpose. Every decision you make, every hour you invest, that's your future being written. So if you want to be somebody, if you want to leave something real behind, you got to respect your time. And I'm going to break it down for you. 5 ways, 5 keys to truly valuing your most precious asset. Time. Most people don't really understand it. They talk about it, complain about it, waste it, and then act surprised when life don't reward them. But let me tell you something real. Time is the most valuable asset you got. You can make more money, you can buy things, you can build brands, but once time is gone, it's gone. And that's why you got to protect it like you protect your money, like you protect the things that matter most. People treat it like it grows on trees, like it's just something that comes back no matter how they spend it. They scroll social media for hours, binge, watch stuff that don't feed their soul, entertain distractions that don't move them forward, all while their dreams sit quietly in the corner waiting for them to show up. And it's tragic because life don't wait. Opportunities don't wait. Time never waits. Think about it like this. If you lost 100 today, you'd notice it, right? You'd feel it in your pocket. You'd feel it in your grind. But if you lose 5 hours today to nothing, 5 hours just slipping by because you got distracted, because you procrastinated, it feels invisible. You don't even see the loss, but that loss is real. Those 5 hours could have been spent learning, building, creating, connecting. Those 5 hours could have been the difference between staying where you are and moving to a whole new level in life. Your time is literally the currency of your life. Every second, every minute, every hour is an investment. And if you don't respect it, nobody else will respect it for you. Nipsey said it best. If you don't respect your time, you'll never respect yourself. That's deep because it's true. Respect your time, respect yourself, and everything else starts to follow. I remember when I was grinding on the come up the early days, people were constantly asking for my time. Yo, can you help me with this? Can you do this favor? Can you spend some time on me? And I ain't saying don't help people, but I had to learn something crucial. Energy spent is energy lost, and once you give your time away recklessly, you rob yourself of the hours you need to build your own empire. I had to set boundaries. I had to say no to people, not because I was cold-hearted, but because I had to protect the hours that were going to create my future. I had to protect the hours that were going to pay my bills, that were going to grow my music, that were going to grow my mind. I had to protect the hours that were going to make sure I could take care of my family and build a legacy bigger than myself. Protecting your time ain't just about saying no. It's about valuing yourself. Too many people undervalue themselves. They undervalue the hours they got. They think, oh, I'll do this for free. I'll stay up all night helping everyone else. I'll put everyone else first. That sounds noble, but it's dangerous. It's a trap. You're giving away your most valuable resource for nothing, and life don't owe you anything. Life rewards the people who understand their worth, the people who treat their time like gold. Every hour you spend doing something that doesn't align with your purpose, you're losing money. Not in the bank, not in stocks, but in your life, in your future, in your potential. And I ain't just talking about big chunks of time. I'm talking about minutes too. The minute you spend scrolling, the minute you spend gossiping, the minute you spend worrying about what someone else is doing instead of working on yourself, that's time lost forever. Those minutes add up, and before you know it, a year has passed, 10 years have passed, and you're still in the same place wondering why your life ain't changing. Don't let that happen to you. Learn to be disciplined with your hours, your minutes, and even your seconds. Time is the one thing nobody can give you back. Money can be replaced, mistakes can be fixed, but time is gone. I remember times when I would be in the studio grinding on music, figuring out business moves, and people would hit me up just to talk, just to vent, just to waste my hours, and I had to make a choice. Either I spend my energy on that or I spend my energy building my future, and I chose myself. And that's a hard lesson, but a necessary one. Protect your time like it's gold, because it is. Protect it like your dreams depend on it, because they do. Protect it like your life depends on it, because every hour you waste is a little part of your life slipping away. And here's the truth. Most people don't get this until it's too late. They don't get it until they're sitting there with regret, wondering where all their hours went, wondering why their dreams didn't manifest. Don't wait until then. Don't wait until you're looking at your life and realizing that the hours you wasted could have been the foundation of something great. Protect your time now. Protect it every single day. Set boundaries. Say no when it matters. Say no when it's going to help you build a bigger yes for your life. Surround yourself with people who respect your hours. Spend your time with people who motivate you, who inspire you, who push you to grow. Because here's the thing. Time is an investment. And like any investment, you got to be smart about it. You got to be intentional. You got to treat it like it's the most valuable thing you own. Because it is. Every day you wake up, you get a limited amount of time, and what you do with it determines your life. If you spend it on distractions, your life will reflect distractions. If you spend it building, learning, growing, hustling, your life will reflect progress, wealth, and freedom. Your time is the one asset that nobody can ever replace. Respect it, protect it, and invest it wisely. That's how empires are built. That's how legacies are made. That's how you go from ordinary to legendary. So I'm telling you, don't let your time slip through your fingers. Don't waste it scrolling, gossiping, or worrying about things that don't matter. Protect your hours like your future depends on it, because it does. Protect it like your family depends on it, because they do. Protect it like your dreams depend on it, because they do. Nipsey always said, the most important thing is your time. Don't waste it. That's the truth. That's real talk. And the way you respect your time today is the way the world will respect you tomorrow. When we talk about time, one of the most important things you can do with it is invest it in yourself. That's right. Your biggest asset is you. And the way you use your hours, your minutes, your days to build yourself, that's where the real wealth comes from. People chase money, they chase instant gratification, they chase clout, but they overlook the most powerful investment of all, themselves. Time spent learning, growing, and building your skills compounds faster than money ever could. It ain't about the dollars in your pocket today. It's about the knowledge, the habits, the mindset you're stacking up that's going to change the game for you years down the line. And that's the difference between people who stay stuck and people who create empires. I was always in the studio. I was always studying the business. I was always figuring out the next move. While other people were out chasing temporary thrills, I was out here building permanence, and that's the key. Investing in yourself ain't flashy, it ain't glamorous, but it's what separates the ordinary from the legendary. Every hour you dedicate to your craft, to learning a skill, to understanding the game, those hours don't just disappear. They compound. They add up. Think about it like this. If you invest just an hour a day in learning something meaningful, in a year you got 3 to 65 hours of growth under your belt. That's over 15 full days of non-stop work that can't be taken away from you, that nobody can steal from you, that nobody can copy. And that's powerful because while money can come and go, your skills, your knowledge, your mindset, that's yours forever. When I was on the come up, I started out selling mixtapes on the corner. People see the hustle, they see the grind, but they don't always see the education that comes with it. Every spare hour I had, I was learning the business side. I studied how to distribute, how to market, how to build a brand, how to connect with people in a way that added value to their lives while building my own empire. Those hours I spent learning weren't just for the next day. They were for the next decade. And that's the truth about investing in yourself. It ain't about instant results. It's about compounding. It's about the long game. The knowledge you gain today is the foundation for the opportunities you can create tomorrow. Investing in yourself also means developing discipline. You don't get anywhere by hoping the world will give you a shortcut. You got to show up consistently. You got to grind, even when nobody's watching, even when it ain't fun, even when it feels like you're moving slow. Because every day you put in work, every day you read a book, every day you practice a skill, every day you learn something new about your craft or your business, you're putting money in the bank of your mind and your future. Real talk, success ain't luck, it's compounding effort. And the only thing that guarantees that compounding is consistent investment in yourself. I remember staying up late learning how to distribute my music independently. I was talking to people in the industry, figuring out the best ways to connect with my audience, learning the numbers, studying the market. Those hours at the time felt like work, felt like sacrifice. But today, they're part of the lifestyle, part of the empire I built. They turned into systems, into knowledge, into power. That's the beauty of investing in yourself. It never leaves you. It follows you. It compounds. And that's why I say if you want to create wealth, if you want to create freedom, you start by investing in yourself. Investing in yourself ain't just about business or money. It's about growth in every aspect of your life. Emotional growth, mental growth, spiritual growth, physical growth. The stronger you get in every dimension, The more resilient you become, life is going to test you. Life is going to throw obstacles. And if you haven't invested the time in building yourself up, those obstacles will crush you. But if you've invested in yourself, if you've been grinding, learning, developing, you'll be able to stand tall no matter what comes. You'll be prepared to make decisions that move you forward, to see opportunities others can't see, to take risks that others fear. Look at the people who inspire you. Look at the people who build empires from nothing. Nipsey, Jay-Z, Oprah, Diddy, even the small hustlers you see in your neighborhood, they all invested in themselves. They all spent hours, days, years building skills, building knowledge, building networks, building character. And that's what allowed them to take advantage of opportunities when they came. They didn't wait for someone else to hand them success. They created it from the inside out. That's why I tell people all the time, your time spent on yourself is the only investment guaranteed to pay dividends. And let me be real with you, investing in yourself is not always easy. It takes sacrifice. It takes focus. It takes patience. You got to say no to distractions, no to instant gratification, no to things that don't align with your mission. You got to wake up early when the world is still asleep. You got to study when everybody else is playing. You got to practice when everybody else is watching TV. But that's the difference between a person who dreams and a person who lives their dream. That's the difference between someone who stays average and someone who becomes legendary. Every time you read, every time you practice, every time you learn a new skill, every time you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, you're banking future wealth in ways that money alone can't buy. You're creating options, opportunities, and freedom. You're building something that no one can take away. You're putting in work that the world will eventually reward. And it starts with small, consistent steps. 1 hour a day, one skill at a time, one mindset shift at a time. That's how you turn yourself into a resource the world can't ignore. And don't underestimate the ripple effect of investing in yourself. The more you grow, the more you uplift the people around you. The more you learn, the more you inspire, the more you build, the more your community benefits. That's how empires are built, not just for the individual, but for everyone they touch. Every hour you put into developing yourself, you're creating value that spreads beyond you. And that's powerful because real wealth ain't just about what you make. It's about the impact you leave behind. So I'm telling you, every day you wake up is an opportunity to invest in yourself. Don't waste it scrolling. Don't waste it complaining. Don't waste it chasing things that don't matter. Use it to learn, to grow, to develop your skills, to strengthen your mind, your body, your network, your craft. Because every hour you spend on yourself is an hour that pays dividends for the rest of your life. It's the only investment you can truly control. It's the only investment that guarantees returns. And when you do it consistently, when you put in the time and effort every day, eventually your life changes. Your opportunities change, your mindset changes, your future changes. I started with mixtapes, I started with nothing but a dream and a hustle. But every hour I invested in myself, every lesson I learned, every skill I developed, that's what turned that hustle into a lifestyle, that turned that dream into an empire. That's how wealth is built, that's how freedom is built, that's how legacies are built. Invest in yourself every day, make yourself your most valuable asset, protect your time, grow your skills, sharpen your mind. And one day the world will have no choice but to notice one of the most overlooked truths about success is this: your circle determines your trajectory. I mean it, the people you choose to surround yourself with, the energy you allow into your space, that stuff matters more than most people realize. Your energy is precious, but your time, that's sacred. And if you're rolling with people who waste it, who don't grind, who complain more than they act, who play more than they build, you'll feel it. Their energy will rub off on you whether you like it or not. Their habits will shape yours. And if you're not careful, before you know it, you're moving in the same direction they are, and that direction ain't taking you anywhere you want to go. I learned this lesson the hard way. On my come up, I had homies who wanted to chill all day, smoke all day, and talk all night about what they were going to do, but never actually doing it. And I was focused on building. I was grinding. I was trying to create a life that most people wouldn't even understand. At first, it was tough. I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I didn't want to cut ties. I didn't want to feel lonely. But I realized something important. If I stayed stuck in that energy, if I stayed rolling with people who weren't moving forward, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I wouldn't have built the things I built. I wouldn't have had the clarity, the focus, the discipline I needed to grow. And I realized that sometimes respecting yourself and your mission means making hard choices about the people around you. I'm not talking about cutting people off out of hate. That's the wrong energy. I'm talking about cutting people off out of respect for your purpose, out of respect for your time, out of respect for your dreams. Your time is limited and your mission is sacred. You can't afford to spend hours entertaining negativity, doubt, or distractions just because you feel obligated to someone else. I had to learn how to say no, how to step back from relationships that weren't aligned with my vision. And it changed everything. It gave me space to breathe, to focus, to grow, to surround myself with people who added value instead of taking it away. Think about the people you admire, the ones who've built empires, who've left legacies. You'll notice a pattern. They roll with winners. They roll with people who move with purpose, people who respect time, people who grind in silence. That's not by accident. They understand that your circle is your compass. The right circle challenges you, pushes you, holds you accountable, motivates you when you're tired, and inspires you when you're stuck. That's the kind of energy you want in your life, not the kind that drags you back, not the kind that keeps you in your comfort zone, not the kind that makes excuses instead of solutions. I remember a time when I had to make a decision to step away from people I cared about. It hurt, it felt lonely at first. But I realized that the discomfort of growth is better than the comfort of stagnation. When I created distance between myself and the people who weren't aligned with my vision, I started to see my opportunities more clearly. I started to respect my own time more. I started to see that every conversation, every interaction, every hour spent with someone is an investment, and it should either build you up or inspire you to move forward. Anything else is wasted energy, wasted hours, and wasted potential. Surrounding yourself with the right people doesn't just affect your hustle, it affects your mindset. Energy is contagious. If you're around people who are always negative, always complaining, always doubting, they'll seep into your own thoughts. You'll start questioning yourself, doubting your vision, slowing down your progress without even realizing it. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who are disciplined, motivated, strategic, and forward-thinking, that energy is contagious too. It inspires you, it elevates you, it pushes you to keep grinding even when it's tough, even when you're tired, even when the world seems like it's against you. It's also about accountability. The right circle keeps you accountable when nobody else does. When you're grinding in silence, it's easy to fall off course, to procrastinate, to make excuses. But when you're around people who respect your time and share your ambition, they'll push you to stay true to your mission. They'll call you out when you're slacking. They'll celebrate your wins, but they won't let you get comfortable. That's the kind of energy that creates results. That's the kind of people you want in your corner because they make you better, not just feel good. And this isn't just about business or money. This is about life. The people you allow in your space shape the person you become. They shape your values, your habits, your mindset, your resilience. If you're rolling with people who waste time, who complain, who criticize, who never take action, they'll shape you into someone who does the same. But if you choose people who value time, who hustle, who lift each other up, who respect the grind, you'll find yourself naturally becoming more disciplined, more strategic, more focused, and more relentless. That's the real power of your circle. Real life example. I had people in my life who were always talking about the next move but never taking action. They wanted to chase money but didn't want to put in the work. I had to step away from that energy. I had to prioritize my mission over my comfort, my growth over my relationships, and that's when things started changing. I started connecting with people who were serious, who had vision, who respected the process. I started learning faster, moving faster, building bigger. My energy matched theirs, their mindset matched mine, and together we elevated each other. And that's what happens when you surround yourself with people who value time. They multiply your potential. So I'm telling you, don't underestimate this. Your time is sacred. Your energy is precious. Don't let it be wasted by people who don't understand the grind, who don't respect the hustle, who don't share your vision. Don't feel guilty for stepping away from relationships that are draining you. Don't feel bad for choosing growth over comfort. The truth is, the people you roll with will determine how far you go, how fast you move, and how high you rise. Make sure your circle is filled with people who inspire you, who push you, who challenge you, and who respect every hour you dedicate to building your future. Because at the end of the day, success isn't just about what you do. It's about who you do it with. It's about the energy around you, the people who lift you up, the voices that challenge you to be better, and the hands that help you build. Choose wisely. Protect your time. Respect your mission. And surround yourself with people who value it as much as you do. That's how empires are built. That's how legacies are made. That's how you go from dreaming to doing, from hoping to living, From ordinary to legendary, one of the most important lessons I ever learned is this: you gotta make every moment count. Every hour, every minute, every second you spend in this life is an opportunity, and if you're not intentional with it, it slips away faster than you realize. People talk about time like it's unlimited, like it's some resource you can replenish whenever you want, but it's not. You can't get it back, you can't rewind it. And that's why the most successful people, the people who leave legacies, treat every moment like gold. You ever notice how the rich talk about mornings? How they wake up early while the world is still asleep? It's not some arbitrary habit, it's a mindset. They understand that every hour counts, every minute matters. Every decision you make, every conversation you have, every action you take, it all adds up. Time is leverage, and if you don't use it wisely, you're leaving potential on the table. Nipsey used to preach, the grind don't stop. And that ain't just a slogan, it's a principle, a philosophy, a way of life. The grind don't stop because time doesn't wait. The opportunities don't wait. Life don't wait for you to be ready. So while other people are sleeping in, while they're wasting hours on distractions, while they're debating endlessly about things that don't matter, the people who are building are out here using every moment. Every second they spend is calculated, intentional, and aligned with their purpose. Making every moment count means cutting out wasted conversations, pointless debates, excuses, and anything that doesn't align with your mission. That doesn't mean you can't relax or enjoy life. It means you got to be intentional about what you allow in your space. Every second you spend doing something that doesn't push you forward, every moment you allow to be drained by negativity or distractions, that's time you'll never get back. And those are the seconds that separate the average from the exceptional. That's the difference between people who dream and people who live their dream. When I was on the come up, I treated every interaction like an opportunity. Every handshake, every meeting, every studio session, every conversation, I approached it with the mindset that this hour, this moment could change my life. And you know what? More often than not, it did. 1 hour invested today could mean tenfold returns in the future. That's the power of making every moment count. You never know which conversation will lead to your next breakthrough, which connection will lead to your next opportunity, which hour of focused work will compound into something bigger than you imagined. Time is leverage, and the more intentional you are with it, the more powerful your life becomes. I remember being in the studio late at night, grinding while other people were out partying. At the time, it felt like a sacrifice. But when I look back now, those moments were investments. Every hour spent mastering my craft, learning the business, figuring out my next move, it all added up. Every session, every phone call, every discussion about the culture, every marketing tactic I tried to understand, it was all preparing me for the moment when opportunity and preparation would meet. And that's how growth happens. That's how empires are built. You use your time wisely. You maximize it. You respect it. Making every moment count also means treating the small things with the same importance as the big things. People get caught up thinking that only the major decisions, the big deals, the headline moments matter, but it's not true. The small choices compound into the big results. How you spend your morning, how you respond to an email, how you invest in your relationships, how you show up for your craft, those small moments repeated consistently create massive change over time. It's like building blocks. Each hour, each day, each moment adds up. And if you're not intentional, those moments can crumble into nothing. And it ain't just about work. Making every moment count is about being present, too. It's about valuing the people and opportunities in front of you. Nipsey understood that. He invested in his community, in his people, in every opportunity to teach, mentor, and uplift. That's why every moment he spent was purposeful. That's why his life, though cut short, left such an impact. Because he didn't let moments slip away in distraction, in complaint, in delay. Every second had value, every moment had purpose. Real life example, I treated every handshake like it mattered. Every studio session like it was the last, every meeting like it could change the trajectory of my life, because that's exactly what it could do. I'd show up early, stay late, absorb knowledge from everyone around me, observe, learn, and apply, and over time, those moments compounded. The hours turned into days, the days turned into years, and the years turned into a foundation, a legacy, a lifestyle. That's how you turn time into leverage. That's how you make moments count. And here's the thing, most people waste their lives waiting for the right moment, waiting for perfect conditions, waiting for someone else to create opportunity for them. That's the opposite of making every moment count. The right moment is the moment you decide to use your time wisely, the moment you commit to your craft, the moment you take action while others hesitate. You can't wait for opportunity to knock. You got to be building, preparing, and showing up every single day so that when opportunity arrives, you're ready. The rich, the powerful, the legendary, they understand that time is leverage. They don't waste hours on things that don't matter. They don't get caught up in drama, distractions, or excuses. They maximize every moment because they understand that the value of an hour isn't just what you do with it today. It's the ripple effect it creates for the future. Every moment invested in growth, in learning, in building, in your craft, in your relationships, in your purpose, that moment compounds, that hour multiplies, that second creates momentum that can't be stopped. So the question you got to ask yourself every day is simple. How am I spending my time? Am I living intentionally, or am I letting hours slip away? Am I investing in moments that matter, or am I wasting them on things that won't serve my future? Every choice you make about your time is an investment in your life, in your legacy, in your destiny. And the people who make every moment count, they're the ones who build wealth, who leave legacies, who inspire generations. Making every moment count isn't just a strategy, it's a lifestyle, it's a mindset, it's understanding that time is the one thing you can't replace, the one thing you can't borrow, and the one thing that will define the rest of your life if you respect it. When you commit to using every hour, every minute, every second intentionally, you start to see results. You start to feel momentum. You start to create opportunities that other people miss because they're busy wasting their time. That's the power of maximizing your moments. That's the power of leverage. That's the power of respect for your own time. I'm telling you right now, if you want to be successful, if you want to leave a legacy, if you want to create wealth, freedom, and impact, you got to make every moment count. Stop letting time slip through your fingers. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Stop letting distractions steal your hours. Respect your grind, respect your mission, respect your time. Treat every moment like an investment because it is. Every handshake, every conversation, every studio session, every meeting, every hour you spend focused, learning, building, hustling, it all compounds, and over time it will create a life, a legacy, and a level of success that most people can only dream about. Remember, the grind don't stop. Time don't wait. Every moment matters. Use it wisely. Make it count. And one day when you look back, you'll see that every second invested in your purpose paid off tenfold. At the end of the day, what you're doing with your time isn't just about today. It's not about the likes, the money, the clout, or the temporary wins. It's about the legacy you leave behind. Your time builds your story, it builds your impact, and it builds the blueprint for generations to come. That's the truth most people miss. They get caught up chasing short-term thrills, chasing instant gratification, chasing things that don't last. But the people who make a real mark, they understand that every minute invested, every hour spent, every second dedicated to building something meaningful is a brick in the foundation of a legacy that lasts beyond their own lifetime. When I think about Nipsey Hussle, I think about vision. His vision was never small. He wasn't just making music. He wasn't just chasing fame. He was building culture, building community, creating opportunities for the next generation, and showing people how to invest in themselves and their neighborhoods. That's the power of thinking bigger than yourself. Every hour he spent mentoring young people, every meeting he had with community leaders, every investment in education and local business, that wasn't just work. That was a blueprint for a legacy. That's why people remember him, not just for his music, but for the impact he had on everyone around him. Your time, when invested correctly, becomes immortal. It lives on through the people you uplift, through the systems you create, through the knowledge you pass down. And here's the thing, building a legacy requires discipline, intentionality, and focus. You can't leave a lasting impact by living distracted, by chasing temporary pleasures, or by ignoring the people and things that really matter. Nipsey used to say, the most important thing is to have vision for the long term. That means your time, every moment of it, is precious. Every decision you make, every connection you nurture, every skill you develop, it all contributes to the story you leave behind. You're building something bigger than yourself, and that's why you gotta treat your hours like gold. Real life example, when Nipsey invested in the Marathon clothing store, he wasn't just opening a business, he was creating jobs, providing opportunities, teaching financial literacy, and building a hub for the community. Every hour he spent on planning, strategizing, and mentoring people in that space wasn't just about making money, it was about leaving a mark. That's what it means to let your time build legacy. Every decision, every investment of your time compounds into influence. into empowerment, into impact that outlives you. And you don't have to be Nipsey Hussle to create that kind of legacy. Every single one of us has the ability to invest our time into things that matter. The time you spend on your craft, on building knowledge, on growing relationships, on helping your family, on serving your community, that's the stuff that echoes after you're gone. That's the stuff that multiplies. Think about your grandparents, your parents, the people who sacrificed so that you could have opportunities, their time, their dedication, their focus. That's what left a legacy for you. And now it's your turn to do the same. Here's another truth most people ignore. Legacy isn't just wealth. Legacy isn't just money in the bank or property titles. Legacy is knowledge. Legacy is values. Legacy is relationships. Legacy is influence. Legacy is empowerment. When you invest your time in building wealth, sure, that's important, but what's even more important is using that wealth to create systems, opportunities, and guidance for those who come after you. Nipsey's life teaches us that. He understood that money is temporary, but the impact you make with your time can be eternal. When you start thinking about your time like this, your priorities change. You stop wasting hours on temporary thrills, meaningless distractions, and things that don't elevate your purpose. You start asking yourself, is this going to matter in 5 years? Is this going to matter to my family? Is this going to create opportunities for someone else? And when the answer is no, you move on. You focus your energy on the people, projects, and pursuits that leave lasting value. That's how you create a legacy. That's how you make every second count. I remember the way Nipsey talked about community. He said, if you want to leave something behind, don't just make it for yourself, make it for the people coming behind you. That's powerful because most people operate in a vacuum. They think only about themselves, their immediate success, their short-term gain. But true impact, the kind that's remembered, comes from thinking bigger than yourself. It comes from investing your time, your skills, your energy, and your vision into people and projects that outlive you. That's how legacies are built. That's how generational wealth is created. That's how culture is changed. And let me be real, it's not always glamorous. Building a legacy takes sacrifice. It takes focus. It takes making hard choices about how you spend your time, who you surround yourself with, and what you commit to. But the reward is eternal. The people who respect their time, who invest it wisely, who dedicate it to growth, family, community, and craft, they leave marks on the world that money can't buy, that fame can't create. They leave influence, inspiration, and systems that uplift generations. That's power. That's immortality. So I'm telling you, the time you have today is the foundation of your legacy. Don't waste it chasing temporary thrills. Don't waste it worrying about things that don't matter. Don't waste it on distractions that take away your focus, your energy, your growth. Invest it into things that matter, your craft, your skills, your family, your community. Build wealth, yes, but also build knowledge, relationships, and impact. Those are the things that echo after you're gone. Those are the things that keep your name alive long after the money and the fame fade away. Think about it like planting seeds. Every hour you dedicate, every lesson you teach, every moment you mentor someone, every system you build, that's a seed. And some of those seeds won't bear fruit today. Some of them won't even bear fruit in your lifetime. But generations down the line, they will grow into something powerful. That's the beauty of investing your time correctly. That's the power of building legacy. That's why we honor people like Nipsey, not just for what they achieved, but for what they left behind for others to grow from. At the end of the day, your time is your blueprint. Every minute you spend working on your craft, building your mind, investing in your family, empowering your community, shaping culture, that's the foundation of what will outlast you. That's how you create a life that matters, a life that echoes, a life that inspires people long after you're gone. That's how you turn ordinary hours into extraordinary impact. That's how you go from living for yourself to living for generations. Your time is not just a resource, it's a legacy in the making. Treat it like that, respect it, protect it, and invest it in things that will outlive you. Because one day when the world looks back, it won't remember how much money you had. It won't remember the distractions you chased. It will remember the impact you made, the lives you touched, the systems you built, and the opportunities you created. That's the power of time. That's the power of legacy. That's the truth Nipsey lived, and that's the blueprint he left behind. So don't waste it. Invest it, build wealth, build knowledge, build relationships, build impact, and your time will become immortal. Your legacy will speak long after you've left the room. That's the real victory. That's the life worth living. That's how you go from temporary to eternal. That's how you turn your hours into a story, your work into influence, and your life into a blueprint for generations.